Aries, welcome back. This love block is related to areas in money challenges in the way. Right now, Aries, that is the overall block. Before I go further, I just want to let you know that this is a general love block reading. This will not resonate with everyone. It is not intended to resonate with everyone. You will know if this reading is for you. I encourage you not to force this reading, to force it to fit. Usually early on when we are watching a general reading, we'll know, like, okay, that's not me. We good in that area. That's not what we're working through, because I don't want to waste your time. That's the worst thing to do to someone. So it is related to money areas and money challenges changing everything in this connection. I have a placement out here for the connection, what the overall block is between you and this other person. And I have a block for you. And then I also have a placement out here to understand the blocks for the person that you're dealing with, Aries. Welcome back to the space. This reading is pretty clear to me. And some of the love block readings that I've been doing, I have to get a lot of confirming information because it's layered, and every connection, every relationship has its ups and downs, its layers of what is in the way. In this reading, Aries, it feels very clear that it has to do with money and foundation and building. So stay on with me if that is something that you're working through. Maybe you can glean some messages from this reading and it can encourage you along the way. I also want to say that in this connection, some of you could be apart right now. Some of you could be apart right now, but I'm not feeling the vibe that this situation that you're working through, this love block that you're working through, has ended your relationship. It feels more like a long-term couple or a married couple, a couple that's living together, where you're just going through your ups and downs and you're working through one of the challenging downs right now, as many couples are. So there's love here, and my intention with doing this reading is to share with you more insight so that maybe you can know what to do, because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the flavor of this couple. Don't judge me. You know, some of you are looking at this like, it is over, Miss Shaan. I got you. I respect that, but this gives me the vibe of connections just going through the ups and downs, trying to make it make sense. So here I go, 3 minutes later into the reading. Okay. There's a block related to how to create financial means, how to heal finances and keep going strong, like how to actually have a plan for the finances, who's going to work where, how much money are we going to have in the savings, what do we put toward retirement, are we able to, how do we stabilize ourselves so that we are financially secure. This is also in the relationship too. Sometimes before we can even think about financial means, we want to make sure that our relationship is solid. So there's a little vibe of that too, is what do we need at this particular time in our lives together so that we can stay strong and we can keep moving forward strongly. With the Chariot here, I asked God, angel, spirit guides about the past influence related to this block. And I have the Moon out here, and I also have the Queen of Swords here. And so what that feels like is it has been unclear about what the money situation is. In some relationships that I might be speaking to, very few, just wanting some clarity about who are we in this connection, a little bit of suspicion about if you're really on the same page with me. Do you really want what I want in this connection? Are we going in the same place? So for some of the people that I'm speaking to, if you're a new, younger couple, in terms of younger in years, you haven't been together as long, some of this energy feels like in the past it's been more about who are we in this connection? What is our title? Are we moving forward together? Are we just kind of having fun? What is this? And in the past that hasn't been clear. And so for you right now, that block, it's not so much related to money, security, foundation. It's more related to, are we going to do this together? Are we clear about our rules and standards for having a connection that feels solid for us? More about that, I went a little bit deeper And the Three of Wands is out here, as well as the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Wands. So this feels like the connection here. There's someone here who's trying to be a provider. Some of you may have children and you're focused on what do we need to create so our family is okay, the children okay. There's someone who's working and also full-time parenting as well. There's someone who is also another co-parent in this connection, or the other partner in this connection, and they tend to have a challenge with their ego sometimes, and it kind of feels like they can be kind of fragile. And I'm not sure if that's you. It feels like it could be this other person, but when they have an idea about how something should go, they kind of are the person that has to do it their way, and they're very passionate about their beliefs and their choices and their actions. But overall, with this energy between the two of you, it's in the past there has been a plan about how to move forward. So for those couples that have been solid, you've been together for a while, this feels like, are we going to move away, or are we going to get our home in this community? Are we going to get this apartment over there? Who's going to pay the rent? What do we want our legacy to look like? For those of you that I'm speaking to where maybe you have a business together or you have investments together, it's what is our plan to make our money grow? How are we going to support each other more on the concrete, solid financial side? This looks like, what is our plan forward so our family, they're good, so that we are good. So that was in your deep past in terms of you trying to figure out security. But there has been quite a bit that has happened, and it's showing up on your side, Aries, that the story starts to unfold more. Based off of what's happening in this connection right now, the future is going to have a bit of a challenge with this current energy, because there's a need for clarity. There's some type of breakthrough that can happen, and it's related to ideas, a meeting of the minds, because the Ace of Swords is in reverse. So you know that when it's upright, that's all about, we have clarity, the logic is there, 2 plus 2 is 4 to both of us, we're on the same page, and we know what to do, and we're going to execute that. So that is just crystal clear clarity and a sense of comfort knowing that we're on the same page. How things are unfolding right now, where you all stand right now, that clarity is not there. And if you keep rolling strong in this energy without addressing what has happened, what these blocks are, it's just going to be this feeling of having I just got something that came in really strong. There's someone here, this is very specific. There's someone here who's watching this, or who will be watching this, and there's a fear about telling, Aries, it feels like there's a fear about telling this other person how you really feel about their part in the connection too. That's what just came up as I'm channeling for this. I also get a lot of Pisces energy in this too. I don't know if someone here is dealing with the Pisces. I don't know if you're a Pisces Aries cusper. I think I accidentally said Pisces just a moment ago, but that is like a strong vibe too that's coming through, and I'm not sure who that's related to. Okay, so I asked to go a little bit deeper with the reversal of this Ace of Swords and heavy burden, Tower, but there's a lot of love here. So just going back into this just for a moment, this Tower has happened because there's something related to the finances, the money, the security that has fallen apart. And what that has done is it has put a heavy burden on the two of you. And Aries, I'm feeling like the burden really has been on you to work a little bit harder, to make the ends meet, to figure out how to get on damage control. And what is pushing you, Aries, and this other person to keep pushing along, but I'm really feeling like it's you a lot, is the love that you have, your understanding. This feels like a couple or connection, Aries, where you really do like this person, you're really into this person, and it's deeper than just, we hit a bad patch, maybe you're not on your game, and I'm going to break up with you and leave you. It doesn't feel like it's a shallow connection at all. It feels like someone is like, okay, well, some poor decisions were made, but now we're going to get on it. We're going to fix this. We're going through a really tough time right now. But there's a lot of love here. I do feel like I could be talking to someone here who, and this is not limited to them, but I do feel like I'm talking to a Pisces Aries cusper, because in the Pisces reading, there was a similar kind of vibe that was coming out, a little bit similar, related to healing something financially, but not as thick as this Aries reading. So if you feel like, if you're a cusper and you feel like there's messages there, I would encourage you to check that out, because I'm still feeling energy related to Pisces here too. And then there's some Pisces that showed up in your person's reading as well. So I'll get into that in just a moment. Okay, so I'm coming over to you, looking at what this block is, signs and reminders. So the person that you're dealing with, Aries, they likely made a poor decision or some poor decisions, and with you all going through what feels like this tower moment right now, this is what's showing up for you as your main block. With you going through this tower moment right now, it's really hard to go to work every day, look at those children if you have children, look at the apartment, look at all the damage that has been done, and really have an open, forgiving heart and feel healthy. It just feels like right now you're walking through something where there's a lot of signs and reminders of what happened in the past. Abundance out here. Manifestation also popped out here. What it says for abundance is, I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in the metaphysical or in this physical reality. You know, this is really powerful because manifestation also popped out here for you, Aries. The situation that you're going through, Spirit wants you to know that you are not limited to this. And if the person that you're dealing with, if they have made some bad choices or they're possibly guilting you to work through this or something like that, Spirit really wants you to know that you are Aries. One, you are I am, you are powerful, you are the epitome of courage and strength and of structure. You are the emperor in the tarot. And so whatever's happening with the mind space, because there's a lot of swords on your end, you're thinking a lot, you're in your mind quite a bit, it's going to be hard to manifest from a place of pain and anguish and confusion and fear. So if you can remove some of that and get grounded, you can begin to manifest and create again what it is that you really want from the sincerity of your heart. There's a little bit of guilt that you're working through too. And it might be that this guilt is what's keeping you connected to this person or connected to figuring this out with this person, riding with this person, as we'd say in the 2000s, right? You're still riding with this person, but there's something related to some guilt here. And it says, I release any belief that no longer assists in my soul's growth. Something's happening in this connection, but on your end, Aries, very specifically for you, this is about some type of awakening for you. And it could be related to an awakening for the connection. But sometimes relationships come into our lives, romantic relationships, friendship relationships, work relationships come into our lives because they are awakening us up to something deeper as it relates just to the unfoldment of our soul and the unfoldment of our spirit here, okay? So I'm feeling that vibe for you. Again, the overall block for you in the tarot is the Tower and the 8 of Swords. And so this is feeling blocked in by the loss. It feels like someone probably lost their job, someone lost the house, or there was a missed opportunity related to money or security, and or something related to some type of debt that is zapping everything, a challenging judgment financially coming through, and it's giving this feeling of like, we're trapped in this, there's nothing I can do. That is an illusion, but that is showing up in your relationship right now as a perceived block right now, because you have a lot on your mind and you're feeling limited right now. Okay, so the past, there is an Ace of Pentacles, so there was some type of missed opportunity or a door to walk through that could have been wonderfully amazing for your connection, for you to have the financial security that could have protected you. What came to my mind was to have saved something in your financial reality. But more swords popped up. The 9 of Swords popped up, So this is feeling a lot of burden. You're feeling worried, like, how are we going to make these ends meet? How are we going to pay back this loan? And then this is a very, very specific message. There's someone in this connection who decided to reach out to a parent, a caregiver, someone that they trust for support, sharing this news and information with someone because it's like, I don't know what else to do. Maybe the partner is not exactly happy about this. Maybe it's like, I had to reach out to mom, or I had to reach out to Aunt Susan because we are in a financial bind. And maybe your partner does not usually like to get help because it's like, maybe they don't want to be judged, or there's some type of stigma in the family dynamic about getting help from people in the family. But it feels like you, Aries, you're like, I really need to let someone know what's happening in this connection. We really need the help. We need the advice. We need the support because we're drowning. That's what that feels like. The future of this, it feels like you're going to work through this somehow with all of the nines. You have the 9 of Wands here, but this is, we've been through it, but I understand our connection. We love each other. We're wounded. It's been a lot, but we're going to stand strong. This is a hard yes card for me as a reader. And then you have that classic ups and downs, going with the times, doing the best that we can. Wheel of Fortune energy that comes out when relationships are just going through a challenging time, and it feels like the wheel is just rolling. You gotta, like, you have a lot of rolling through, pushing through energy with the Chariot, the Wheel of Fortune, the Tower, and then you have another Chariot beneath your deck as well. So it's just a lot of like pushing through. We're going to conquer this. In the Pisces reading, Chariot popped out too. That was another strong energy of just pushing through. So for the cuspers out there, this is a strong message about you having this thing with you about just really wanting to push through, get this figured out, and work this out. So for those of you where you reached out to someone in the family to get a little bit of financial support or aid, or you had to share outside of the relationship what's going on and somebody's upset, I think that's a little bit of this guilt that you're holding too. You're feeling upset about that, right? Another thing is there could have been a caregiver, a parent, or mom who tried to give advice about what an opportunity was or a decision to make, go left, and maybe you decided to go right, and then there's some guilt about that, a little bit of shame about that. Okay, so now I go over to the person that you're dealing with. Their block is related to patience, and it says, I accept that everything happens in divine order. Take a step back. Discipline, and this is the vibe that I'm really feeling from the person that you're dealing with, that they have a challenge with financial discipline. Beneath their deck, this is a very interesting one. It says no. And so what this feels like to me with what they're going through, it feels like with how they've been rolling in their mindset right now, there is not a lot of potential. There almost has to be some type of breakthrough that happens for them, or a reconfiguring of how they see money and finances and life. And then for those of you where it's not about money and finances, and it's just more about, you know, who are we in our connection? Are we on the same page? It feels like this person is going to have to really push to get clear about what it is they want and be solid in that. But it does not feel like they are as comfortable with showing up in the commitment solid and clear. Okay, but that's for those of you where you're just wanting to know if you're going to move forward in a relationship or not. So going back to the other storyline related to the finances and the money and the home and things like that, their overall block is that they have the potential to be the King of Pentacles. It could be someone that you're dealing with who is a Virgo here. And we have another Ace of Pentacles that popped up to confirm this energy. And then we have a reversal of the King of Wands. And so the King of Wands popped up here for you earlier in the relationship dynamic. If you remember back, this is the two of you looking ahead, moving ahead. They're upside down in their part. Okay, so they do tend to get into their arrogance a bit. And in Cross Watcher, this is no shade, this is all respect, this is just how the cards are showing up for you, my love cup. But it kind of feels like when they're passionate about something and they really believe for something, no one can tell them anything different. And so, and I know that in a relationship that can feel like a deep and hard burden, because a relationship has to be about give and take. which leads me to a couple more cards that are out here. They have the Six of Pentacles here, and I confirm that with the Ace of Swords here, and it feels like right now what could support them, what could lift up this block, is if they would just be open to hearing advice, if they could just be open to allowing help, or to, you know, kind of put down, you know, the halo of arrogance. I don't mean that condescendingly, but if they could just put down the halo of arrogance and trust that maybe, Aries, you do have an idea about where we could go. Someone in the family probably does have a bright idea, but this person does not want to fail. It feels innocent at its core. They don't want to fail. They don't want to let anyone down. They want to really show up as being a great partner and as someone who has all the ideas, but they just have been having a hard time with their discipline here, because we have an Emperor showing up for them. Could be dealing with another Aries. That would have to be an amazing connection, Aries with Aries. But this feels like two not really trusting you, Aries, in terms of advice or ideas, and that's bringing you some stress. Upside down with the Seven of Pentacles, right? So this looks like kind of being wasteful with the money, not listening, making bad choices with the money, bad investments, overspending, a job opportunity coming and then just deciding not to take the job. It just feels like on their end, they're really, and then beneath their deck too is the moon, right? Pisces energy, and then we have some Pisces energy here too. But that Pisces energy is just being in your suspicion, being suspended in your own world, you know, having doubt around a suspicion energy around you, doubt about what other people are saying, distrusting, and it feels like they're still working through that. So they're almost like in their own world, making decisions that will affect the both of you and this family dynamic. Aries, thank you for getting through that with me. I know that was quite a bit. Hopefully you're able to glean something from that. I'm going to get some archangel messages out here, because relationship stuff can be challenging. We're looking at love blocks this week, so obviously we're looking at the more shadow side of connections. And so I want to just end this time with something that can feel inspiring and hopeful. So God, angel, spirit guides, what do you have for my lovely Aries along the way to inspire them, to give them hope? Thank you, God, angel, spirit guides. What else? Anything else? All right. The first one out here, it says, you created the situation and you have the power to change it. This is very powerful, Aries. You have the power. These swords are just illusions. But when we're going through that, and I've been here a couple times in my life, I remember going through a season of my life where I would do readings for myself almost every week, and I would these cards would just show up because I was just in this. And when you're going through it, you really can't see your way out. But trust me, there is a way. There always is a way. So it says, for the prayer, thank you for letting me lean on your strength and for reminding me of my personal power. Please guide me to manifest and heal. That manifest card here again, right? This is powerful. Manifest here. To manifest and heal according to divine will, creating peace and blessings for everyone involved. These are three cards here that have the word manifest in it. And so I love the number 3. It's actually my favorite number. It's my life path number 2. 3 times you have the word manifest. And some people also believe that manifest carries the vibration of 3, just the energy of what it is. There's power with you, Aries, right now. There's something that you can do. You might not see it right now, but if you're able to get still enough and let go of the thoughts that are penetrating, you will be able to see and hear what it is that you need to at this time. I thought I had another card here, but maybe this is the final one. It says, go forward fearlessly. I love this. It says, thank you for walking with me every step of the way, for holding my hand, giving me confidence and courage, and guiding my thoughts and actions in the direction of love and my true life's purpose. This is beautiful. I love you. Hey, I need to close this patio door. I have, at this time of the evening, little flies getting through my screen, so let me get out of here. I love you so much, Aries. I'm wishing you wellness. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next week. Bye.